Good afternoon. My name is Tony Smithart. I'm with the United States Department of Labor Veterans Employment and Training Service, and I'm here this afternoon to briefly discuss the employer's requirements as far as individuals, service members returning from military with an injury or an illness that occurred while they were on military service. The specific section of the law that we're dealing with, it's under the USERRA, which is Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act, requires that employers reemploy veterans when they return following their military service. What we want to talk about is those that have a disability or an injury that occurred during that period of military service. Unlike the ADA law, this law is much more stringent, and I will read what the law requires. In identifying an alternative position for disabled service members, focus should be on returning service members' ability to perform the essential duties of the job. The position must be in one that the person can safely perform without unreasonable risk to the person or fellow employees. The disabled service member is required to provide information on his or her education and experience, the extent of the disability, and his or her present capabilities. The employer then has the duty to disclose all positions that the service member may be qualified to perform. Because the employer has greater knowledge of the various positions of the requirements in the organization, the employer, and not the service member, is exclusively responsible for accommodating the disability by identifying suitable positions within the service member's abilities or capabilities. Where we come into play, as with the Department of Labor, we're the enforcement arm of the law, but we work with employers and with the service members to ensure that the right information is provided to the employer, and that then the employer takes that information, determines within their company what jobs a person can do. Then we assist in providing that training, linking with the Veterans Administration or other organizations to ensure that the training or the accommodations are provided. Really fortunate that in Iowa, I've had many cases, but fortunate that we've been able to assist employers and service members, and the employers have not had to pay any money. It's all been provided through the Veterans Affairs, if there is accommodation or training needed. So it's just mainly networking to provide it and identify what the information is. One of the most important things is the communication aspect of it, is to ensure that the service member, you receive from them what they need, and then you go to you within your company, you identify what's available. An example of a case that we recently worked is where we had an individual that was a construction worker, heavy physical work, had a severe back injury while he was gone. What type of jobs can he do? Well, it was evident he had a very rigid lifting restriction, and we were able to take him from that frontline laborer job to a quality control within the organization. It required some additional training, which we did that through the Veterans Administration, and they provided classroom training, some OJT, and actually had some monies that they could provide to provide to the employer to help them with that. So again, it cost the employer nothing. The person actually started making more money than he did as a laborer because of the increased skills and the responsibilities. Another case I had to work where it went the other way, where the person was a police officer, he was not able to be that anymore, and because of the nature and what was available within the entity, he ended up with a position as a dispatcher with paid about $6 an hour less. Again, we don't pay anybody for what they can't do. We pay them for what they can do within their seniority status. So it's a case-by-case basis, and we will be glad to help you at any time you need it. We have a website that provides specifics, www.dol.gov/vets. We'd be glad to provide any assistance you need. Thank you very much.